Hi, welcome back to the show. I'm Alex,
And I'm Dom.
and today we're diving into the fascinating world of UFOs, those mysterious flying objects that have captivated human imagination for centuries. From ancient legends to modern day sightings, the idea of extraterrestrial visitors has been part of the collective consciousness for millennia. So buckle up as we explore the history of UFOs and the stories that have shaped the understanding of the unknown.
Mm-hmm. Or as they call them, UAPs nowadays.
UAPs. I've always liked UFOs better than UAPs
Yeah.
because, like, I don't know.
We're old people set in our old ways.
Yeah,
That's why.
like that's how I learned it. I'm sticking that way. All right. Ancient encounters, celestial wonders, or alien visitors. Long before the term UFO was coined, people across the world recorded sightings of strange objects in the sky. These early encounters were often interpreted through the lens of mythology and religion.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient Egypt.
Of course.
In 1440 BCE, during the reign of Pharaoh Thutmose III, ancient records describe fiery disks in the sky. These fire circles were reportedly seen for several days before vanishing, leaving the Egyptians perplexed.
Could they have been comets?
Probably, it was probably just a meteor shower.
Yeah. Well, they did know a lot about astrology, though.
They did. Like the
Egyptians did.
pyramids, yeah, the pyramids are actually lined
Yeah.
up.
So they probably knew the difference between a comet and, what
Yeah,
they were saying was.
yeah. And it's kind of weird. It kind of goes on with that theory that aliens built the pyramids.
Yeah.
uh, Rome and Greece. The Roman historian Livy documented phantom ships gleaming in the sky in 214 BCE. Comparably, the ancient Greek text mentioned flying shields during battles, adding to the intrigue.
Yeah. Can you imagine just like, I don't know, during like the Battle of Thermopylae or whatever?
Yeah, just seeing a giant ship flying in the
In the
sky, like
sky,
what the
right?
hell, or a shield. It was just Captain America just throwing a shield
Yeah.
around.
It was a
uh,
discus, I swear.
yeah. The
we,
Bible. So there's even sightings in the Bible.
yeah.
The book of Ezekiel in the Old Testament contains vivid descriptions of wheels within wheels in the sky, which some modern theorists speculate could be early accounts of UFOs.
Isn't how that they describe biblically accurate angels though as like just rotating wheels of
Yeah, like
fire?
there's one that has like really like a shitload of eyes.
Yeah.
Like the description of
So maybe in the
angels is like
Bible it's
weird.
less alien and more angel.
Yeah, but I mean, what's if a celestial or
Yeah.
an angel or an
It
alien
would
comes
technically be an
down?
alien,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, so let's go on to the Middle Ages, signs and wonders.
Mm-hmm.
During the Middle Ages, sightings of unexplained aerial phenomenon were often considered omens or divine signs.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuremberg and Basel sightings. On April 14th, 1561, the skies over Nuremberg, Germany were reportedly filled with strange cylindrical objects and spheres engaging in what seemed to be a battle.
Wow.
Just 5 years later, in Basel, Switzerland, a similar event was recorded, and with locals witnessing black globes darting through the sky.
Hmm.
And this is before aircraft.
Yeah. Yeah.
1561. That's way
Way before
before.
airplanes.
Chariots of the Gods. Many medieval illustrations and tapestries depict flying objects resembling modern day UFOs.
Wouldn't that be crazy though? If like most of our myths and legends from our different civilizations, ancient civilizations, were just like aliens coming to visit, and they're like, "Oh, the gods."
Yeah, I know. Like that would make the
It
most
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah. So these artworks are often show people observing these phenomenon with a mix of awe and fear.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes interpreting them as celestial vehicles carrying divine beings. That's where we get the chariots, like Apollo with the
Yeah.
chariots and stuff. Like maybe that's why we just seen them come down, get out of the spaceship, and be like,
Yeah.
"Holy crap, you're a god!"
Yeah.
Uh, so let's fast forward to the 19th century, 1800s, a new era of UFO sightings.
Mm-hmm.
As the world entered the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution brought about new technologies and a growing interest into the unknown.
Yeah.
This period saw a surge in UFO sightings, often linked to the era's fascination with science and the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Airship Mystery of 1896 to 97. In the United States, numerous reports emerged of a mysterious airship being flown over various states. Described as cigar-shaped and equipped with bright lights, this airship was spotted by thousands of people, yet no explanation was ever found.
Goodyear blimp.
It was probably like, you know how like Hindenburg?
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, like it was probably something early like that.
I know it was too early for the Goodyear blimp.
The Aurora, Texas incident, 1897. A particularly famous sighting occurred in Aurora, Texas, where locals claimed an airship crashed and the remains of a small humanoid being were found.
Mm-hmm.
The story made headlines, and though many believe it would be a hoax, it was
Yeah.
a significant part of UFO lore.
If I don't know, they probably do have a bunch of crap that we don't know about.
I think okay, so let's let the cat out of the bag. I believe there's aliens out in the world. I just don't think they've come here. Like, why would they fly billions of miles just to watch us? Like, it makes no sense. Like, if we found another world that we could physically get to
Mm-hmm.
with a spaceship,
Mm-hmm.
it would be like the Europeans and the Americas.
Well, it
We
depends.
would colonize.
We might want to observe first, make sure that we could even, like we're not
Yeah,
gonna
but we didn't
get
observe the Native Americans before the Europeans started settling here.
Yeah.
We just settled here and just pushed them out. Like, that's how I think that it would go.
Yeah. Well, that's just because we're humans.
Yeah.
You can't put our human logic to the same.
Yeah, that's true.
As alien, they could
That's
be completely
different.
have different motives and different
Uh,
morality systems.
the 20th century, so we're going up to the 1900s, the modern UFO phenomenon. The 20th century marked the birth of the modern UFO era, with sightings becoming more frequent and widely reported. This period also saw the emergence of UFOs in popular culture.
Yeah, like Roswell, New Mexico, and
fueling public fascination. So obviously, newspapers are seeing all this stuff. It's like, Roswell incident,
the lights in Arizona,
and also goes along with the nuclear tests, the World War II, the planes and stuff. Like, we had planes in the sky more than any other time in history.
You think like government experimentation, different types of tests.
Yeah, like they're gonna be like, oh, that's a UFO, like, and then it comes out later it's the B-52 bomber. Like, the Foo Fighters of World War II. During World War II, Allied pilots reportedly seeing strange balls of light following their aircraft. Dubbed Foo Fighters, these unexplained phenomena were never fully understood, but they added to the growing mystery of UFOs.
Yep, and then David Grohl named a band after them.
Yep. So now, since every time you hear Foo Fighters, now it's David Grohl. The Roswell incident. Probably the most infamous,
recognizable one. Yeah,
like you say Roswell, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, aliens.
It's at 1947. Perhaps the most famous UFO event in all of human history, the Roswell incident involved the alleged crash of an alien spaceship in New Mexico. The U.S. military initially reported recovering a flying disc, but later retracted the statement, claiming it was a weather balloon.
Right.
Conspiracy theories have thrived ever since, and many believe the government was covering up evidence of extraterrestrial life. They have come forward and said that it was a government experiment to where they could see if they could test Soviet Union using nuclear weapons. It was this long thing. It was like, they could say it could be miles long. It was different balloons, and they would do like that. So it was an experiment. It was unidentified, but like obviously we can't just be like, that's just our special weather balloon to spy on the Russians.
Yeah,
we can't say that.
Pretty much under wraps.
Yeah. The Cold War and UFOs. The tense geopolitical climate of the Cold War led to numerous UFO sightings.
Dude, the 50s and 60s were like the biggest time for UFO
sightings
and stuff.
They are often attributed to secret military projects or the fear that the Soviet Union's technology had far advanced our own. However, the sheer volume of reports suggested something more was at play. So it was too many sightings for it to be like the Soviet Union would be having to pump out like technology like it was nobody's business,
right?
And like faster than us,
yeah.
And like even if we were doing it and they were doing it at the same time, there was just too many sightings
Well,
for
the
it to
Cold
be.
War is the reason for the space race. So
Yeah,
I mean, they're
yeah,
scrambling to try to beat Russia to the moon or different
yeah.
milestones
But
into
that's like
space.
going up into space. Why would they like? Oh, we're gonna do a space race, but we're
That's what
only
I'm
gonna
saying.
stay in
So
America.
if we're like that, they're that far in us in technology, there would have been no space race.
Yeah,
They would have completely eclipsed
yeah.
anything the U.S. would have tried to do. So
Uh,
no.
so let's move on to extremely modern, the 21st century. In the 21st century, the topic of UFOs has moved from the fringes of conspiracy theory into mainstream discussion.
Yeah, dude. At this point, we as a populace are just I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care if there's UFOs, if there's not.
uh,
Whatever.
especially with the release of all of that declassified information,
Yeah,
which
kind
is
of got
amazing.
forgotten about pretty quick.
Yeah, it was because it came out.
Generally,
It came out.
there's a bunch of other stuff
Yeah,
going on. Yeah,
the Pentagon's UFO reports from 2020 to 2023, the U.S. government had acknowledged the existence of unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs. I like
yeah.
to call UFOs,
Mm.
a more formal name for UFOs. With the videos released showing fast-paced moving objects performing maneuvers that defy current technology,
Yeah,
even in today's standards, the conversation about UFOs has been shifted from speculation to serious inquiry.
right.
Tom DeLonge started like
Yeah,
that big thing. Like
yeah,
I know that he's a celebrity or whatever,
yeah.
but like he was one of the driving forces to get all of that shit released.
Right.
And
That's pretty cool if you think about it.
yeah, but are they UFOs? Are they something? Or UAPs? Because there's underwater ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's submergible, some
Honestly, I
like
have no. I'm
USA
not
something
ruling
or
anything
USA
out.
USPs.
I've seen so many crazy things, that I never thought would happen already.
Yeah.
So it's not. It would not surprise me if we just there had been aliens for this entire time.
Well, movies, TV shows, and literature continue to explore the idea of alien life and UFOs, which
I think it's
also
going to be the.
adds to it.
Yeah, I think that if we find something alien, I think it's going to be outside of the realms of what we can imagine. So, like, everybody expects to see what you see in the movies and what we can imagine, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be so wild that we can't wrap our minds around, like from another dimension or from something just so wild that we don't really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've just recently discovered that cephalopods, octopus, and squids
Weren't originally from
weren't
here.
originally from here. They were from probably a meteor that came down and crashed and stuff. So, is my speculation is carbon life forms because carbon's the most abundant material in space,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we're based off:
Yeah.
carbon-based life forms. So to say that there's no other life out in the universe is if
I'm
you're
sure
saying
there's
that,
microscopial
I
life
think there's I
in
think
certain
there's
planets and stuff.
intelligent life out there. There
I
has to
I
be.
don't
There's no
know.
way we can be the only intelligent form of life on Earth. And I say that with all
On Earth
humility.
for
Yeah.
sure, but I don't know.
Like I'm pretty dumb, but I'm sure there's something out there that's way smarter than
Yeah.
humans. Uh, just for the simple fact that
Well,
like,
if there is, I don't think we'll ever,
oh
as a
no,
species, come in contact with them.
did you see where we found a planet that has lights on it,
No.
like electricity?
What?
Yeah, we've seen it through the telescope. For one, whoever's there is probably dead by now,
Well, yeah.
or who we're looking at is probably dead by now because how light travels,
Yeah.
it's millions of years
It was
before.
forever
Yeah,
ago. Yeah.
forever
Or
ago.
yeah.
But how we're looking at it is that there's electricity, like there's lights, like how you would look at Earth at night
Yeah.
and you see lights and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, and like so we're
God,
trying
that'd
to
be so
look
cool though. We'd have like
farther.
a Mass Effect or a Star Wars style thing where we just start, spreading out and meeting other different
Yeah,
civilizations,
that
and
would be
we learn.
amazing,
Yeah, it'd
and
be
it's
so
super
cool.
exciting. This is the best time to be I guess a spaceologist. I don't know what they're called. Yeah,
Astrophysicist or
astrophysicist or whatever. I told you I was dumb, but
astrologist or
yeah. So I mean, that right there to me is exciting. Obviously, there's no way in our lifetime, and our children's lifetime, and our children's lifetime that we'd ever go anywhere besides probably Mars.
probably not. Yeah.
But it's still amazing that there's something else out there and that we can probably prove it within probably my children's lifetime. That's really cool.
That'd be a nice thing to know, even if
Yeah.
we can't do anything about it.
So, as we wrap up today's episode, it's clear that UFOs have been a part of human history for thousands of years.
I bet. Sorry, one last thing I wanted to make a point on is I bet the conspiracy theorists are pissed.
Yeah, consider the fact
they
that
got
like,
called wackos
yeah.
and just ridiculous. All the conventions that they get, made fun of for in movies and TV shows, and people have laughed at them.
Well,
and now they're like, we don't have a concrete evidence, no. But I'm saying they're probably like, well, you don't think we're so crazy now, do you?
Yeah. And when the government comes out and say, hey, we've been
hiding, we've been looking at something
for like 60 years, then you're just like, what the hell, man? You made me feel like an
idiot. Yeah. All right, that was it.
But and also sparking curiosity, fear, and wonder.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm not alone. It's kind of like gives purpose. Like, what's my purpose in life? Are we alone in the universe?
Yeah,
like answers that existential question.
Mm-hmm.
Whether these sightings are misunderstood natural phenomenon, secret military technology, or just genuine extraterrestrial encounters, the mystery still endures.
Yeah.
And perhaps the most compelling part of UFOs invite us to question what we know and consider what might be out there waiting to be discovered.
And if nothing else, it's fun to think about.
Yeah, it really is. It's fun to sit down and watch third or Encounter from the Third Kind, or Men in Black.
Yeah,
I mean it's fun. We like to imagine it. I mean, I don't want like a War of the World situation where they come down and just start killing us. Mars Attacks would be pretty funny, but our Independence Day would suck too. Like, we don't want that. We want like
coexistence,
like Rick and Morty style. But yep, that's our episode on UFOs, the history of it and everything. So thanks for listening to the podcast, and we will be back next week for the Loch Ness Monster.